Alright guys, welcome to your first video. You'll see this is Unit 1, Formative 1, Day 1. Okay, we're going to talk about variables and expressions. A little side note here, I just downloaded this picture off the internet and I did see this guy must be named Mr. Martin also, so kind of weird. Alright, and just a reminder, as you watch any of these videos, I need you to take notes. Okay, that's what you are graded on. And if anytime you need to pause, go back, or maybe watch this a couple times if you need to, that is more than welcome. So this is your video. Do with it what you want, but just remember you are in high school now and you are responsible for your own learning. Alright, we'll start out by defining what a variable is. And a variable is a letter that represents a number. Okay, so with that in mind, let's look at these problems here. So we're going to take these words and try to put them into math terms, right? So 6 more than x, if we're looking at number 1. If we were to write that in terms of math, well, more than x, that means we have to start with x. We start with x, and add means plus 6. That's it. Number 2, y multiplied by 7. Y, use a dot for my times symbol, times 7, or you'll more commonly see this as 7y. When a letter and number are written right next to each other, that means multiply. Okay, number 3, the sum of z and 8, well, sum again means to add, so we're just going to add z and 8 together. And finally, number 4, 8 minus c is just like it sounds, 8 minus c, using our subtraction sign. Alright, those aren't too bad, so let's try a few more. Number 5, let's go with 5 less than y. Okay, this is probably the hardest one, that's why I put a little star by this. Alright, so 5 less than y. A lot of times we want to start with a 5, but it's less than y. So that means we need to actually start with our y here. Okay. So if it's 5 less than y, we need to take away 5 from y or subtract 5. So this will be y minus 5. Alright, number 6, a number n divided by 4. Okay, you can write this a couple different ways. Probably how you're used to seeing it, n divided by 4. Or we're going to use that fraction bar. Okay, so we'll have n divided by 4. It's not a very good n. There we go. Okay, number 7, the product of 9 and a number z minus 6. Okay, so number 7 sounds like it has a couple different parts here. So let's start with the first part. The product of 9 and a number z. Well, remember we can write the product or multiplication here between a letter and number just right next to each other. So if we write 9z and then minus 6, just tack that on at the end. 9z minus 6. Alright, the number 8, 10 less than the quotient of x and 8. Okay, we know this word quotient means to divide, right? So if we write this division like we did up in number 6, where we have x and 8. Okay, again we're going to start with that because number 8 is also kind of like number 5 where we use that less than term. Okay, so we start with our x over 8 and then we want to subtract 10 because we want 10 less than x over 8. Alright, in the previous ones, we took words and we turned them into math terms. Alright, here we're going to do it backwards. We're going to take the math terms and try to turn it into words. So look at number 1, it says x plus 5. We can write that as just x plus 5. Number 2 has a couple different parts. It says 7y minus 4. So we can write this as maybe 4 less than the product of 7 and y. Okay, and then lastly, number 3, we have x over 4 plus 3. Well, remember that x over 4, we call that the quotient because it's division. So let's call this the quotient of x and 4 plus 3. Alright guys, that concludes our first video. So remember, you should have taken notes on this video. If you need to, you can go ahead and re-watch this. And also, I just want you guys to be aware that you will not be able to watch this video in class, but you will be able to look at the notes that you have taken. Okay, so take good notes, bring them to class. I'll see you tomorrow.